gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, shout around? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Breaking news at 4, Chicago postal worker shot and killed in the middle of the day while delivering mail.
Suzanne Lemonnier is in West Pullman on the south side where it happened. And Suzanne, you have new information on that investigation.
Woo! So you have a postal worker shot, and this is Chicago for you guys. This is the norm in Chicago. Mayor Brandon Johnson has completely turned this city into a hellhole, and these super gremlins are running rampant, you know, committing crimes, retaliation, hits. A lot of people are saying this shooting was targeted. So it's a very scary time.
Jim Marie, I've been told as many as 9 shots may have been fired here at the scene. I want to show you the scene behind me. Take a look there. The postal worker's truck remains here behind me as the investigation continues into the murder of this postal worker who many say was beloved in this neighborhood.
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady.
Kim Sanders says she would see 48-year-old Octavia Redmond, the postal carrier on the block where she works, every day.
She just come up and down the block and just deliver the mail, didn't bother nobody. So it's like it's devastated to the area.
Police say Redmond was in front of a home here on West 122nd Street and South Harvard Avenue when an unknown man went up to her and started shooting.
There's an ambulance over here, bonafide. It's a postal worker that's right the Rango.
Police say Redmond was shot multiple times.
We have a gunshot wound to the right side of the neck, 2 gunshot wounds to the hip, and 1 to the, I'm not sure how many to the chest, but she was shot on the chest.
Police have been going door to door here, talking to those who live on the block and checking for any homes that have surveillance cameras that may have captured the crime on video. Now, Redmond was taken to Christ Hospital where she was pronounced dead. United States postal inspectors now offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction in Redmond's murder. In West Pullman, Suzanne Lemonnier, CBS News, Chicago.
Suzanne, thank you.
It happened while she was on the job in uniform. The Cook County Medical Examiner's office tonight identifying her as 48-year-old Octavia Redmond. Neighbors say they saw the car pull up toward her truck before hearing the gunfire.
Damn.
This U.S. Postal Service truck sits idle, surrounded by a maze of crime scene tape after gunfire erupted on this West Pullman block.
Not on this block because there's a lot of older people live over here and all of us know each other.
Leaving 48-year-old postal worker Octavia Redmond shot multiple times while on the job. It happened outside of a home just after 11:30 this morning near 121st and Harvard.
We all knew her around here, yes. She was like a mother to the neighborhood.
A now heartbroken neighborhood swarmed with Chicago police officers and postal inspectors investigating the shooting. Neighbors who did not want to appear on camera telling ABC7 they saw a car driving toward the victim's USPS truck before hearing at least 10 shots.
Yeah, and obviously the neighbors are pretty shaken up. The no snitch rule is in effect, but thankfully we did get some information from the neighbors to help solve this crime. But this is just another instance of black women not being protected, and you wonder where the hashtag Protect Black Women Brigade is. We wonder where Black Lives Matter is at this time. It is completely, lost on me that these incidents continue to happen where black women are completely gunned down at work or just in general, and nobody's saying anything about it.
The shooter then getting away.
White Durango fled westbound from this location on Harvard towards Ashland.
The victim was taken to Christ Hospital where she died, leaving the residents on her route reeling from this brazen attack that unfolded in broad daylight.
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady. I'm looking for my morning smile or my afternoon smile. Like now, I got to adjust to somebody else.
Tonight, there's no word on a motive. U.S. Postal inspectors now offering a reward up to $250,000 for any information leading to an arrest and conviction. That mail carrier was a longtime mail carrier known on her route for her smile and her generosity. Tonight, those who knew her left heartbroken.
It's a loss of life, you know. She's not going home to her family.
This flag hangs at half-staff outside of the Southside Union Hall, where inside there's growing fear and anger among letter carriers.
They need to be prosecuting them. We are federal employees. How dare you? And then you could just think you could just get away with it?
Yeah, and they might get away with it. And I honestly would be surprised if they're prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, seriously. Because it's that bad in Chicago. It's that bad. Where you got Kim Foxx as the DA. I mean, what do you expect? Mayor Brandon Johnson as the mayor?
My members are scared to go to work.
That concern now growing after 48-year-old postal worker Octavia Redmond was gunned down while on the job late Friday morning. Her USPS truck left sitting idle near 122nd and Harvard, where police say someone pulled up and shot her multiple times before driving off. Redmond later died at the hospital. U.S. Postal inspectors offering up to $250,000 for any information leading to an arrest and conviction.
One of our own, a postal employee, we take it as seriously as anything we could do in this job. This is why we're here.
I know her husband, he's a letter carrier, also assistant union steward at the station. She's just a great person.
And not only a wife, but also a grandmother who worked as a letter carrier for more than 15 years. Redmond's impact felt by those on her route.
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady.
But now it's a pain endured by so many more.
It was not worth it. You took a beautiful soul.
Tonight, no one is in custody, and tomorrow morning, grief counselors will be made available at the Roseland Post Office where the victim worked.
Breaking tonight, police are searching for the gunman who shot and killed a postal worker on the city's far south side earlier today.
WGN's Andrea Medina has the latest on the investigation and what we know about the victim. Andrea.
Hi, Jenna and Pat. Her name is Octavia Redmond and was a mail carrier for 5 years. Police are still continuing their efforts to determine a motive. Tonight, we spoke with a USPS worker and also heard from the head of the Letter Carriers Union, who have both voiced serious safety concerns about the violence targeting mail carriers.
When we hear a brother or sister from the Postal Service got killed, that hits us very personally.
USPS mail handler Pat Gibbons is devastated to learn about his colleague, 48-year-old Octavia Redmond, killed on the job in the West Pullman neighborhood on Friday.
We lost a very nice young lady. She was only 48 years old. Octavia was only 48 years old. This is horrible. This is deeply saddened.
Although he didn't know her, he still knew of her. He describes the Postal Service like a big family, saying when one person is hurting, everyone feels it.
We love our job. We love serving the people. But at the end of the day, we want to go home safe.
Around 11:30 in the morning, authorities responded to the 1200 block of South Harvard following a report of a person shot. Redmond was rushed to Christ Hospital, where she later died of her injuries. Postal inspectors and police officers canvassed the area throughout the afternoon. The mail carrier's family was also present, but they declined to speak on camera.
And yeah, I mean, think about the family of this woman who is utterly devastated that someone decided to ambush their loved one. I keep on speaking on the degradation of the black community, and nothing's gonna change unless we take group acknowledgement and group accountability of the situation.
However, they echoed what many neighbors expressed, that she was kind-hearted.
She really was a good person. I literally had just got my mail from her because of the dogs was in the yard. Then next thing you know, we were seeing The police ride past, we seen her truck go past.
The National Association of Letter Carriers Branch 11 President Elise Foster addressed the tragedy in a video shared on social media, emphasizing that they feel targeted and under attack.
What happened today should never happen to anyone. Sister Redmond will not be going home to her family, and I have a problem with that.
Foster, along with Givens, are advocating for increased protection for mail carriers, highlighting they experience intense fears and anxiety while carrying out their duties.
Maybe put like cameras in, or bring back the postal police, something. Maybe even consider certain mail carriers having the right of concealed carry, because it's getting to that point.
Yep. And that's crazy. They want mail carriers to now have concealed carry because they are indeed federal agents. So, I mean, what's going to happen if these mail carriers start popping back? And this is the environment that has been created in Chicago.
Of concealed carry, because it's getting to that point.
At this time, no arrests have been made. A reward of up to $250,000 is being offered for information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case. Givens has also pledged $20,000. We're live outside the 5th District Police Station. Andrea Medina, WGN News.
Thank you, Andrea. We appreciate it.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy, Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Protection for postal workers. That's the plea of a union president after a letter carrier was shot and killed. Now, this comes as violence against postal workers is on the rise. Asal Rizai in the newsroom right now with more on these attacks and the call for change.
Yeah, Suzanne, tributes for that postal worker killed just yesterday have been pouring in on social media. It comes with a renewed push, as you mentioned, to protect postal workers. 48-year-old Octavia Redmond was shot multiple times while out delivering mail, Friday morning in the West Pullman neighborhood. Police say an unknown man walked up to her and started shooting. They got away, and Redmond later died at the hospital. Unfortunately, the deadly shooting is the latest in a string of violent attacks. Just last week, an armed robbery of a letter carrier was captured on camera. It follows back-to-back robberies of USPS trucks earlier this month.
Yeah, they hitting them up. And look, this is a super sister gremlin with a bonnet and a COVID mask, dog, and house shoes. I mean, these super sister gremlins are on demon time.
Spoke to the president of Letter Carriers Union in Chicago, who says these attacks are preventable.
And because we've been asking for help, we've been asking for safety measures, but it should not take it to come to this point for us to get what we need while we out here delivering our mail.
And right now, there are multiple awards for information on these attacks. The latest reward for Octavia Redmond's death, $250,000 for any information leading to an arrest. Live in the newsroom, I'm Asal Rizai, CBS News Chicago.
Thanks so much, Asal. We begin here at 6 with breaking news. A push to keep postal workers safe tonight after a letter carrier was shot and killed while she delivered the mail on her route. Maribel Gonzalez is live at Chicago Police Headquarters. Maribel, you've been tracking crimes against postal carriers.
Erica, we've told you about back-to-back armed robberies of letter carriers just in the last few weeks alone. Now, this latest incident, a tragedy that could have been prevented. At least that's according to Elise Foster. She is the president of the Letter Carriers Union here in Chicago. For months, she's been sounding the alarm on the security concerns she says her members face every single day. Now, the most recent attack just after 11 this morning when a gunman shot and killed postal worker Octavia Redmond. The 48-year-old was in front of a home on the West 122nd Street in West Pullman when an unknown man walked up to her and started shooting. She died at Christ Hospital. The gunman got away. Now, just last week, we spoke to Foster about the armed robbery of a postal worker in the Bronzeville neighborhood in June. This happening in broad daylight and caught on surveillance video. Those images shared just days ago. And shortly before that incident, a series of robberies of letter carriers' trucks on the city's northwest side. Those happening within a span of only a couple hours. Now, at that,
I mean, the people of Chicago are completely imploding and destroying the city. It's a land of lawlessness. That's the only way you can describe it.
time, Foster was urging the police, the community, and the federal government to step in and help. Today, she's echoing that call.
At this point, my letter carriers are scared to deliver mail. And if they scared to deliver mail, they cannot be forced to go out and deliver mail because they want to get home to their families. And I want them to return to their families. I want everybody to hear this. You know, I'm tired of talking. Something needs to be done.
Well, the sad reality is these are the same types of black women who voted Mayor Brandon Johnson in. Black women voted for Mayor Brandon Johnson at a 96% tick, and black people in general voted for him at an 80% tick. So it's pretty devastating numbers. They say they want change, but they keep voting for the same damn thing.
Hear this. You know, I'm tired of talking. Something needs to be done.
This afternoon, these images at the Letter Carriers Union's office, the flag lowered to half staff as members there grieve the death of their colleague. We're told counselors will also be available tomorrow at the station where Octavia Redmond worked. Foster also tells us that shortly after this incident, CPD Superintendent Larry Snelling reached out to her. She will be meeting with him in the next few days to discuss security measures. We're live outside of CPD headquarters. Maribel Gonzalez, CBS News, Chicago.
Maribel, thank you. And we begin with breaking news. $250,000. That's the reward being offered to help catch the gunman who killed a mail carrier today in West Pullman. Our Suzanne Lemonnier is live at that scene with new details about the victim and what happened. Suzanne.
Erica, I want you to take a look right here behind me. Now you are going to see the postal truck still here at the scene. Next to that truck, you see a large number of U.S. Postal Service police investigating this murder. The postal worker was standing in front of a home right at that intersection when she was shot by someone multiple times.
We have a gunshot wound to the right side of the neck, 2 gunshot wounds to the hip, and 1 to the, I'm not sure how many to the chest, but she was shot on the chest.
Postal worker Octavia Redmond was taken to Christ Hospital where she died. Redmond, who was 48 years old, was in front of a home near West 122nd Street and South Harvard Avenue just after 11 this morning. That's when police say an unknown man walked up to her and started shooting.
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady.
Kim Sanders says she would see Redmond on South Harvard Avenue nearly every day.
Whenever she comes, she always smiling like, hey, how you doing, Kim? Do you want me to put the mail in the mailbox or you want me to hand it to you? She just come up and down the block and just deliver the mail, didn't bother nobody. So it's like it's devastated to the area. It was amazing to hear that she got shot on this particular block.
A federal agent with the U.S. Postal Service was at the scene along with numerous Chicago police officers and detectives.
Investigating the loss of life is the most important thing we can do. So when we lose one of our own, a postal employee, we take it as seriously as anything we could do in this job. This is why we're here. We do have other, jobs and other things to investigate as well, obviously, but all those things take a back seat when something like this happens today.
They were going door to door, speaking with those on the block and seeing if any of the houses with surveillance systems captured the crime on camera. A white Durango was seen leaving the area right after the shooting. Now, the United States Postal Inspection Service offering up to a $250,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in Redmond's murder. Tips can be called in anonymously 24/7 to the number that you see right now on your screen. That number, 877-876-2455. In West Pullman, Suzanne Lemonnier, CBS News, Chicago.
Suzanne, thank you.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. is what it is.